भगवती परमानन्दम्।
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। तच्छ्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु भक्तियोगश्लोकसङ्ग्रहः चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जनाः सुकृतिनोऽर्जुन आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभा तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदमासुरीम् दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता शुचः सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डवा नान्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तपा एष तोद्देशतः प्रोक्तः विभूतेर्विस्तरो मया। श्रीभगवानुवाच यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमदुर्जितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम् मय्येव मनाधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अर्जुन उवाच एवमेतद्यथा तत्त्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तमा। श्रीभगवानुवाच न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्। सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय परमं रूपमैश्वरम्। अर्जुन उवाच किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रिणं च तेजोराशिं सर्वतो दीप्तिमन्तम् पश्यामि त्वां दुर्निरीक्षं समन्तात् दीप्तानलार्कद्युतिमप्रमेयम् अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास। श्रीभगवानुवाच सुदुर्दर्शमिदं रूपं दृष्टवानसि यन्मम देवा अप्यस्य रूपस्य नित्यं दर्शनकाङ्क्षिणः ब्रह्मभूतप्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः अन्तकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम् यः प्रयाति समद्भावम् याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः आब्रह्मभुवनाल्लोकाः पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगश्लोकसङ्ग्रहः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। By now, all of you have understood that the four streams of yoga, working with the intellect, Jnana Yoga, working with the willpower, Patanjali Yoga, Raja Yoga, emotions, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, actions, all these lead to the same goal. That goal is called moksha. Moksha means absolute freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from all tensions, stresses, misery, dukkha, bondage, everything. State of infinite bliss, knowledge, power and freedom. So, bhakti is the path of emotion culture, gaining mastery over the emotions. We saw in the last class that this is the most important thing that is needed in our modern education system. Because we do not know how to handle our emotions. We are developing our intellect, gaining mastery over the intellect and others. But when we encounter difficult situations and challenges, we get lost. Therefore, this is the most needed thing. So, in these 18 verses selected from Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna Bhagavan gives us the whole spectrum of Bhakti Yoga. It has been arranged systematically in 8 chapters. In shloka number, we talk about the introduction, then how to move from gross emotion to subtle emotion, from kama to prema, from prema to bhakti, shloka number 4 to 7, 4 shlokas. Then what is the first phase achievement of bhakti? Called God realization in form, called Saguna Bhakti, Saguna Sakshatkar, shloka number 8 to 13. Then you have to go to the higher level, called Nirguna Sakshatkar. Then in that state, you are in what you call as the Parabhakti. And what happens at the time of death for such a person who is in that great state of Parabhakti? And when he leaves the body, how he leaves the body, and what happens to him is the ultimate murder, 17 to 18. This is how it has been arranged. So a schematic is shown here, representing the whole spectrum of the Bhakti Yoga. So the first step is to recognize our Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, the good and the bad within us. Everybody has both the dimensions. It is not that we have only 100% good or 100% bad. Percentage varies. So then how to move the gross, the Asuri Sampat, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, how to move it from there to the good qualities, that is Prema Bhava. The first step is giving and giving, Tyaga. Then you have the surrender to move from Prema to Bhakti. And the Bhakti culminates in Saguna Sakshatkara, seeing God in flesh and blood. God realization is called. Then from there you go to the Nirguna Sakshatkara, called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Nirguna Sakshatkara. From there you have the advanced Bhakti Yoga. In here you have higher layers of super consciousness, in which you have various siddhis. Hanuman was a great example. And finally, when you leave the body, you reach that moksha, absolute silence, transcendence, the state of freedom, infinite bliss, knowledge and power. With that, we came to our prayer shloka. That is the one that we discussed. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. Krishna is the godly son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And he brings immense bliss to Devaki, Krishna. And he is the one who established dharma by slaying the Chanura and the Kamsa, the people who were destroying the dharma in Mathura. And he is the guru of the whole creation. So his grace can turn a dumb into a great orator. A lame with no legs can climb up the Himalayan mountains. Such is the tremendous power of grace. So if you tune ourselves, then that grace is going to come down, and that we are going to develop. So we offer our salutations, and salutations is to tune ourselves, resonating with the consciousness of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Bhaktivedanta Swamigal, he developed the whole ISKCON, that is Krishna consciousness movement, developed wonderfully well. With that, we started last time with understanding about the 4 types of persons who come to the path of bhakti. For the 4 types, Chaturvida Bhajante Mam, Jana Pratishnavardhana, Artha, Jignaso, Artharthi, and Gnani. 4 types of people they come. Artha, Jignaso, Artharthi, and Gnani. So, what is an artha? A person who is in distress, always, in great difficulty. And in Kannada there is a proverb, Sankata Bandaga Venkatramana. When you get the misery, then you think of God. Until then, you don't bother about God or things. You say we don't believe in any God or goddess, anything whatsoever. Then Jignaso, a person who has a curiosity. What is it? So many people are going to temple now. Day by day, it's increasing more and more. Tirupati, people stand in such a long queue. They stand in queue for even 20 hours, 30 hours to do this. What is their curiosity? Let me also go and try. That is Jignasa. Artharthi, a person who is went on the business. Let me see whether we can develop a nice temple and build a nice temple and make my big money. Nowadays even IT is coming down and not much money. So let me see whether I can go and develop the temples or the bhakti prayer halls and other things you can do. Gnani, a person who is in search of reality. What is this life all? What is the meaning of this life? Why we are born? And what is the goal of this life? And is there a fundamental reality from where this whole creation has come? What is the purpose of this life? So, 4 types of people come to me, says Krishna. That is, they come into the path of yoga, into the bhakti. Having said that, then Krishna says, you have to recognize your divine virtues and the demonic wills that you have. So in this shloka, in the second shloka, he talks about the divine virtues. So repeat after me. Teja kshama dhruti shaucham adroho nati manita bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. So Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, you are born with lot of, Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat. What are those Daivi Sampat? Tejaha, Kshama, Dhruti, Shaucha, Adrohaha, Nathimanita. These are all the divine virtues which we all have. So we have to recognize about these things. So what are these dimensions? Tejaha. Tejas means full of brilliance, effulgence, brightness. Tejas. You're full of tajas. Looking at you, you're full of teja. Kshama. Kshama is patience. And then also giving forgiveness. Normally, we forgive ourselves. We don't forgive other people. No? Then dhruti. Dhruti is steadfastness, a strong will and courage you have. Any difficulty that comes, you should be able to bear with that. Dhruti. Then shaucha, the cleanliness, purity. Not only cleanliness outside, cleanliness inside also. Then adrohaha, not cheating others. That is adrohaha. Na atimanita. No ego. These are the divine virtues which we all have. So Krishna says you have to recognize. So compassion, love, serving others, helping others, forbearance, peace, calmness, all this belong to the divine virtues called as the Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat are all the good qualities that we have. So now a story of a goat Jackie to end the session. There is a village Kashi, and it is nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering forests. A wonderful village with a lot of natural surrounding, beautiful mountains and wonderful forests. And in that village, there lived 4 friends: Tejas, Kshama, Dhruti, and Shaucha. 4 friends lived in that village. Each one of them possessed a divine virtue that shone brightly, illuminating the lives of those around them. So each one of them have a very speciality in them. And that's the one that was illuminating the lives of a number of people in the village. Tejaha, Kshama, Dhruti, and Shaucha. The 4 friends. Now, what is this fellow? Tejas, you are doing, Tejas, whose name meant brilliance. So he radiated warmth and positivity wherever he went. Wherever he went, he was able to bring out this thing. Just like sun brings the brilliance, he was also able to bring this. His smile was always like a sunshine on a cloudy day, lifting the spirits of all who crossed his path. Anybody who came with him wanted to have good friends, they were all illuminated this thing. Whether it was lending a helping hand or simply sharing a kind word, Tejas embodied the virtue of compassion, lighting up the darkest corners of the village with his unwavering kindness. Always he was helpful. He was helping others and then putting a night word and bringing the positivity everywhere. That was his thing. This is what we should all be. So there are some people always grim, and they spread the depression and negativity. Some people always with a smile. Can we recognize that wonderful quality that we all have, Tejas, and be happy all the time and then spread this happiness and Tejas to everybody with a beautiful smile? Make it a habit. That's the first step in Bhakti Yoga. That can you maintain that smile and have that Tejas spreading that love and compassion to everybody. That is Tejas, the first person. So you could see how he was bringing that light in the darkness to everybody. Then Kshama. Kshama She is an embodiment of patience. She was steady rock upon which her friends and neighbors relied. In a world that moved at a frantic pace, Kshama reminded everyone to slow down, take a deep breath, and embrace the beauty of the present moment. That's what Kshama was. Her tranquil presence brought a sense of peace and serenity to even the most chaotic situation, teaching the invaluable lesson of patience to all who knew her. There was chaos outside, and people were all disturbed, and then they were all doing this. Her presence brought down all these things. Some people have that capacity. Amidst the various challenges, you should be able to bring the tranquility. So practicing patience is very, very important. So unfortunately today, in our frantic speed, we don't have this patience. We're always saying, we did it. Even in the TV shows and videos everywhere, you don't have patience. Children looking at it, they cannot see one channel continuously. They go on switching channels after channel. We don't have prep. So patience is a very important thing we are missing today. We have to develop the dimension of patience, important. Kshama. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. The testing situation comes when you are waiting for a bus or a transport, and you are waiting, the bus is getting delayed, and you are burning inside. The bus has to come at 2:15, but it's already 2:25, 10 minutes late, 10 minutes late. What is this? What is the system? You start burning inside and doing that. Can we wait patiently with a good attitude and doing this? This is the patience that is needed. Shama. Then the third quality that we all have, the dhruti. Dhruti, whose name signified courage, was a beacon of strength in times of adversity. Fearless and determined, she faced life's challenges head on, inspiring those around her to do the same. She was full of courage. Any circumstance, she was not losing her heart, not losing the courage, was able to maintain that wonderful fearlessness, well determined. And any challenge that came, she was boldly facing it. In all our lives, we get a number of such challenges. Can you maintain that dhruti? Can you invoke that dhruti within us? No? Whether it was standing up for what was right or daring to pursue her dreams, dhruti embodied the virtue of courage, showing others that they too possess the strength to overcome any obstacle that came their way. Many, many challenges used to come in the village, and she was an embodiment of that courage. She was able to show any difficulty that comes. That was courage. Courage is knowing what not to fear, said Plato. Plato was a great philosopher, as you know. He says, courage is knowing what not to fear. That's the dimension. That is to bring down the dimension there. People go to Himalaya, going up and up into the Himalayan region. And what a courage you should have with such low temperatures, minus 15, minus 20, minus 25, with the breeze coming up. You must have that tremendous courage to go up, the mountain people. So we all have that thing, and that has to be cultivated and developed. That is the third dimension. Then the fourth, Shaucha. The fourth person, Shaucha, whose name meant purity, had a heart as clear and gentle as a mountain stream. Honesty, transparency, sincerity. He lived his life with integrity and grace, never wavering from the path of righteousness. with all the attractions. He was able to maintain the transparency, righteousness, and honesty. In a world tainted by deceit and greed, Shaucham served as a beacon of honesty and virtue, reminding his fellow villagers of the importance of staying true to oneself and upholding moral values. He was such a wonderful personality. So these were the four friends that were there. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That was Matthew, Christianity. Purity, honesty, transparency are all the features. And those people are pure. They can see God. Dimensions. Together, Tejas, Shama, Dhruti, and Shaucha, the four friends, formed an inseparable bond. The divine virtues intertwining to create a tapestry of goodness and light that enveloped the whole village Kashi. Kashi became a beacon of light, full of wonderful things happening, Adarsha Samaj, and role model of an ideal village, ideal society. Whoever is to come there to Kashi, they will feel all these wonderful things, Tejas, Shama, Dhriti, Shaucha, all these things were being exhibited. And as they journeyed through their life together, they inspired others to recognize and cultivate the divine virtues that they lay within each and every one of them. Adroha, the absence of hatred, no cheating, and helping everybody with compassion, love, and other things. They had been promoting this adroha attitude. Hatred should be removed. And because of their loving things, they all used to be wonderfully propagating this dimension of adroha. Natimanita, that is, no ahankara, humility, full of humility. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihattini. It is said, as we grow, humility will grow. Ahankara will come down. Na atimanita. And completing the circle of virtues that enriched their lives and the lives of all who called Kashi their home. They were promoting all this Daivi Sampat, and the Kashi was become a beacon of light of such grandeur, such wonderful dimensions that were coming up. As Kashi basked in the radiant glow of Tejas, Kshama, Dhriti, and Shautam, Adroha, and Nathimanisha's virtues, a twist was about to unfold, sprinkled with deeper wisdom and surprise. What is the thing that was waiting? One day, as the four friends gathered in the village square, discussing their latest adventures and how they are spreading their divine virtues to all who would listen, a peculiar sight caught their eye. What is that peculiar sight? In the forest, emerging from the dense foliage at the end of the village, was a rather nice-looking goat, wearing a pair of spectacles, perching precariously on its nose. A goat came out from this thing. They saw this goat with the spectacles. The friends exchanged bemused glances, unsure of what to make of this unexpected visitor. They were all surprised to see what this goat has come, what is this peculiar thing, wearing the specs and other. But before they could utter a word, the goat cleared its throat and spoke in a voice that sounded remarkably like a cross between a bleat and a human whisper. Goat started speaking. The new visitor. What did he say? Greetings, esteemed friends of Kashi. You are spreading this wonderful thing. Greetings to all of you, the goat said, adjusting his spectacles with a hoof. I am Jockey, the philosopher goat, here to impart upon you the wisdom of the ages, he says. Name of that goat was Jockey. He says, I am the philosopher goat. I know the wisdom. I am bringing that wisdom of the ancient sages to you all. The villagers stared in disbelief, their mouths agape in astonishment. Huh? Goat is talking? What a surprise! And it's in spectacles, no less. This was certainly a first for Kashi. No? They were all surprised. No? What is happening? What is happening? This is something miraculous. No? They were all wondering. Tejas, ever the embodiment of kindness, approached Jackie with a warm smile. Welcome, Jackie. Welcome, Jackie. Welcome, welcome. Pray tell, what pearls of wisdom do you have to share with us? Please let us know what wisdom you want to give us. What pearls of wisdom you want to give. What is the secret that you want to remember? We thought we have everything. You got Tejas, Kshama, Dhriti, Shaucha, Droha, Adroha, everything we are spreading. What more wisdom is needed? We have all the moral dimension that is available to us. All Daivi Sampat we have. What else you can give for us? They were wondering and they asked the goat. Jackie nodded solemnly, his beady eyes peering over the rims of his vestibule with his spectacles. Oh, my dear Tejas, he began. The key to enlightenment lies not in the pursuit of only virtues, but the embrace of stillness. That is secret. All these virtues you are following, very good. But the real realization is going to come. Enlightenment is going to come when you make your mind still, calm, peace. You have to go beyond this quality dimension. The villagers exchanged puzzled glances, unsure of what to make of this cryptic pronouncement. Stillness? What stillness is he talking? No? Mind becoming silent. You are full of creativity, honesty, everything grandeur is there. Now the goat is telling that you are going to beyond, you have to go. But before they could question Jackie further, the goat let out a big sound, echoing to silence through the village square like a resonating bell sound diminishing to silence. Big sound. And the sound slowly came back to silence. So, just like a resonating bell, when you ring the bell, bell goes on resonating. And then slowly it comes down to silence. The beautiful thing that they started seeing, the wonderful vision going into silence. You see, Jackie continued, life is far too short to take ourselves too seriously. Sometimes the greatest wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places, like a talking goat philosopher in spectacles. So what is the purpose of the virtues, Daivi Sampat, all the positivities that we have? Later on, Krishna is going to tell it to reach the moksha. Why we have to follow all these things? Not only it will embellish us, not only it can create a nice social order, but the purpose of all these virtues that we have is to take us to the highest realm, that is pure consciousness, that is silence. That's the thing that. With that, Jackie bounded off into the forest, leaving the villagers scratching their heads in ununderstandable wisdom of Jackie. They could not understand what Jackie meant. What is the wisdom that is deeper than the things they were following? Because Teja, Kshama, Thruti, Shaucha, Adroha, Nathimanita, they all thought that we have the highest quality. There is nothing else to do. And this is the one we have to spread. Yes, moral values, ethical values are all very necessary. These are things that we have to do, that we have to invoke, that positivity. But when you get that challenges, dharma sandigdha, as Bhagavad Gita says, Arjuna got into this thing. He came with a resolve. Yes, I want to fight. It is my duty. But when he saw his own teacher, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, everybody coming there, and he got confused. Should I kill all these people? For what purpose? Getting this Rajya, getting this kingdom, and getting the comforts, everything. Yadrajya Sukalobena Hantam Sadan Mudyataha. Is it there? Then he got confused. Which is better of the two? Therefore, there can be conflict between one duty and another duty, conflict between one moral value and another moral value. So, a conflict between duty and ethics, and questioning the very basis. 10 dimensions of Patanjali, Yama Niyama, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishwar Pranidhana. Then all dimensions of Manu, 10, 10, 10, all put together, all ethical and moral values. Why we should follow this thing? And what is the purpose of this duty? When you have such questions, you have to rise higher, to go beyond these virtues. That is the whole wisdom that the Jackie provided. Jackie provided them, yes, what you are doing is very good, very necessary. It is very good for your growth, very good for development of the society. But don't think that this is the end. This is not the end of the journey. You have to go higher, go beyond the virtues that you are doing. But it is necessary to grow. From Rasya Sampath, you have to come to Daivi Sampath. From Daivi Sampath, you have to go further. What you are doing is excellent, very good, nice. But don't stop there. Find out from where these good qualities are coming within you. From where your tejas is coming. Where this great quality of Kshama is coming within you. From where this dhruti, that courage is coming from you. From where courage is coming up. How this purity and transparency, everything you are following, from where it is coming, that quality. You have to find out the source from where all these grand qualities are coming. And that is our pure consciousness. That is the dimension that he talked about. And Vedantic terms, it is the Anandamaya Kosha. From Anandamaya Kosha, all these things are coming up. And therefore, don't stop there. Take it further. Grow higher and higher. That is the wisdom that Jockey gave. But it was ununderstandable for the people to begin with. So the four friends went on contemplating on these things to unravel the mystery of this thing. And as they watched the wise goat disappear into the trees, they couldn't help but wonder at the hidden secret of it all. They went on contemplating. What is that? What is that silence? What is that stillness? What is that transcendence which the goat has given them? They went on contemplating and contemplating to unravel the hidden secret of it all. For in the villages of Kashi, where divine virtues flourished and laughter filled the air, there was always room for a touch beyond and a dash of the unexpected, even if it came in the form of Jackie, a philosopher goat in spectacles. That's the story that I wanted to share with that. And with that, we close today's session and open for any questions, anything that you have. And we'll go for tomorrow, the next Saturday, for the other dimension, Asuri Sampath. So let us repeat it before we close. Dambho darpo bhimanascha krodha parushyameva cha अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य अर्थसम्पदमासुरीम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Can close. The chat box.
There aren't any yet, Guruji.
Any question that you have, can put it in the chat box. If you people have any of these things, you can write and give it also, or you can tell.
Anybody raise their hands maybe. Guruji, maybe sometimes people raise hands also.
No questions?
This question, Guruji.
Guruji, I have a question. I want to know how can we build dhriti, the courage. What are the practices we should do to build?
What is stillness is all about? Shikesh is asking. The stillness is a state of mind in which there are no thoughts. So the mind in a state of silence. Mind is in a state of calmness. And it is in a state of expansion, as I showed the picture, the vast, beautiful thing. So just like stillness outside. Now, for example, in the physical world, we have got akasha. That is a complete silence, expansive thing. Similarly, in the mind is always having thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, everything goes on. We ask the mind to not to think, stay in that silence, it won't. Therefore, when you start practicing the virtues, it helps us to get into this state of silence and calmness. Because ultimately, we have to reach that state of absolute silence, pure consciousness. That is the moksha or the kaivalya. Therefore, the virtues which are talked about in the form of 4 friends, Tejakshama, Dhriti, Shaucha. And these are the ones that help us to get into that silence. Supposing we tell ourselves, okay, sit in silence and don't think of anything, it's hardly possible. You cannot sit even for 1 minute, 2 minutes. This is what Arjuna tells to Krishna. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadridam. How is it possible? Oh, in this Bhakti Yoga, in this Ausari Sampat and Daivi Sampat, Krishna is telling, okay, this you cannot do that. So start with this thing. Start developing these virtues. Once you start developing the virtues, then it is going to take you to the higher realms. Suppose if somebody wants, I want to do PhD. You say, okay, have you done your master's degree? If you have not done master's degree, do the master's degree. Then come to the PhD. We don't admit you directly to PhD. So similarly, Krishna gave systematically different methods of doing these things. In Bhakti Yoga, you develop the positive virtues. By so doing, then you will be able to reach. What is the science behind it? Later on we are going to see. By developing virtues, how we are going to move to the higher heights. Also are going to come up with the next thing.
And raise Guruji, call out her name. She can hand, she's
What
raising
is
hands.
Here, anything else? How to develop dhruti and tejas in ourselves. So, this is the one that we all have. All these qualities we have, many of them are hidden. Therefore, we have to recognize. We have to recognize that we have and then start developing. They say recognition is half the solution. Many times we do not know that we have these qualities. All these qualities, the divine virtues are all within us. But it is in very small quantities for some, it is in good quality, in good quantum in many others. So the first step is to recognize. Therefore, Krishna is telling, recognize these virtues. Tejas, Kshama, Dhruti, Shaucha. How to recognize? You have to look inwards. And once you start looking inwards, then you will find these things are available to you. And then you have to develop them more of practice. So what I tell to all people, always keep a smile on the face. Don't we have the freedom to maintain the smile on the face? But because of our wrong habits, we do not maintain this smile on the face, happiness on the face. Swami Vivekananda says, to be happy is our birthright. Because that's a Anandamaya Kosha. To be happy all the time, to be smiling and smiling is our birthright. So therefore, you have to recognize and start doing this thing. Imagine if you are fully with smile, everybody with full of smile, how wonderful will be the situation, how nice will be the atmosphere. But we don't practice it. Therefore, we have to practice this dimension, recognizing that I have the capacity to keep my smile on the face, keep my brightness inside, to do that. But challenges occur. When challenges occur, how to have this courage to maintain. No, under any circumstance, I'm going to maintain the smile on the face. No? And the courage to go up to the Himalayan mountains, when do that, it looks impossible. How you are going to go and maintain that tremendous capacity to go up? Courage is necessary. We all have that courage, but we have to develop that courage. Use that courage to maintain the smile on the face, maintain the honesty, transparency. We all know what is right, what is not right, but we succumb to this thing. Greed, jealousy, hatred, all these things which you have to avoid. But develop that capacity to maintain honesty, this thing. Under any circumstance, can you maintain what's happening in the country? How our Honorable Prime Minister is bringing this transparency and everything to be brought. And the methods to do these things. So we have to develop that capacity to see that you recognize and start practicing. Recognition of solution. This is sadhana that we have to do. Our lower emotions will draw us down, but you have a capacity to go up. So that's the thing that we have to do. This is how we have to practice. So the practice of bhakti starts with this. To maintain tejas, kshama, dhruti, shaucha, adroha, nathimanita, all these things you have to start practicing. But in our modern times, we have neglected all these things. We are drawn by our senses and they get lost. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga practice is not just you have to believe in God or Goddess, you have to go to the temple, you have to do the worship, and you do everything. Yes, if you do that, nothing wrong in it, you can do that. But even without doing all these things, also you can be a great Bhakta. So that's the dimension that Krishna is bringing out here. What you have to do, develop these virtues, more and more should come up in this thing. How is state of no thoughts related go moksha? How to understand this? Silence is the calmness of the mind. Patanjali tells, Yoga Vasishtha says, Mano Prashamana Upavayaha. It's a trick, it's a secret to calm down the mind, silence the mind. And development of the virtues helps us to get into the silence. If we have got all very violent emotions, then the mind will be running riot and it cannot go into silence. So we have to develop this wonderful, softer emotion, gentler emotion, and virtues. And once you do that, the mind calms down and develops. So Krishna is giving the task. Start practicing this thing, then it will help you to go higher. Is samadhi and moksha are synonymous? No. Samadhi is the beginning, opening. opening of doors. Patanjali says, yama, nema, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Samadhi is a jump into higher level of consciousness. Just like in bhakti, the samadhi is saguna sakshatkara, seeing God in flesh and blood. But then it doesn't stop there. From there, you have to go to the higher thing, nirguna sakshatkara, and the higher realms. Similarly, samadhi in the beginning, from there you have various types of samadhi Patanjali talks about. Moksha is the ultimate, Kaivara is the ultimate, that is put forth there. How to practice kshama? If something had done very bad to you and your family, yes. This is a normal question that comes. Somebody had done something wrong to you and to your family. Can you forgive them? No. You have two choices. You forgive them or you don't forgive them and you burn inside. What is going to happen? For the mistake they have done, you are burning yourself, you are punishing yourself by developing these things. And other thing is, when you forgive, then you are not punishing yourself. By burning inside, by becoming angry, by upsetting about that this happened, and then you have that greater and other things in your door. Essentially, you are getting into the challenges, stresses, tension, and all problems start arising. You may get into problem. So why you want to punish yourself by having all this, hatred, jealousy, and then reactions to them they have done. They have done something wrong. Because you are correct, in spite of it, they have done something wrong for you. It is their thing. But why you have to punish yourself? This one argument that helps you to overcome these things. So what we have to do there? Forgive them. Okay, that's what they've done. And pray God, let them become good people, let them overcome all these negativities, and let them learn to pray for the betterment of those people. This is how you can bring about a change in self, and that's how you develop this patience and kshama. Is it good to completely agree with someone, especially in close relationship, for everything they say, while getting rid of our ego? If you say no, quarreling occurs, what to do? See, initially, when you have differences of opinion between yourself and others, what is to be done? You have a choice. You don't agree, you want to win over them by arguing and telling them that you're wrong and I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right. Like that you go on arguing, trying to convince. But they may not agree with you, they continue. So what is to be done? You first tolerate. Okay? Everybody have their own choice. Everybody have their freedom. Everybody can have their own path. So they are taking this path, I am taking this path, therefore the two paths are different, so I don't agree with that particular path, I have this path, I will do. That is tolerance. So you have to move from disagreement to tolerance of other person. Let them have their different ways of doing it. Why I should insist that they also should do the way that I doing that? Then come to the next level. From tolerance, you have acceptance. Everybody have their divine qualities. Everybody can have their creativity, innovation, have their own choice. Therefore, I accept them. Not only I tolerate them, I accept them. I think. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives this wonderful example and say that all religions are true and you not just tolerate. In Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma, we not just tolerate them, we accept them. We accept all religions as true. And that's how we have to rise from our disagreed state to the state of tolerance, from the state of tolerance to the level of acceptance, and then you come to the level of respect. That's also a divine virtue. It's also a way of expression of divinity. Therefore, I bow down to the divinity involved in this dimension. This is how you grow in the entire portion that comes up there. What are the steps from samadhi to moksha or kaivalya? The steps are given in Bhakti Yoga. We are going to take up these things. When you go from the Saguna Sakshatkara to the Rigada Sakshatkara and other, you will learn this thing. In Tapatanjali Yoga, he gives 8 types of samadhi. You have to go from one to another, one to another. How you go? He gives the methodology for that. From samadhi, you go into the next thing at the Sayama. Trayamekatra Samyama. Like that, you are going to go to the deeper and deeper level. If everybody going towards silence, what will happen to this physical world? Then existence will be gone. So silence doesn't mean that you are not doing anything. You can do all the activities in being in silence. Yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. As Krishna says, inner layer of the mind always in silence. Outside you can be doing any activity. That's the real yoga. Yoga is a way of life. That's the trick that we have to learn. It doesn't mean that silence means mind is silence, you are not doing anything. Then the problem's different. Virtues mentioned in Bhakti Yoga, forgiveness, while Krishna waged war on Kauravas, is this not contradictory? Forgiveness is necessary to see that your inner thing is developing yourself. But when you have that inner thing well established, what is the goal that you have? You have to establish the dharma. So for establishing the dharma, you must vanquish adharma, the wrong things. So forgiveness doesn't mean that you are not going to do anything. Whatever has to be done will be done for this thing. And a judge, for example, he finds out something wrong is going on, and if it is a thing which can be forgiven, he will give this thing. But if it cannot be forgiven, then he will give the punishment. Is it not forgiving doing what Krishna says as following the path of duty? If duty demands should someone be punished, then how is Kshama and duty reconciled? That's why you have got the conflict. Conflict between one duty and another duty. Conflict in one dimension of virtual thing with the other thing. It is not the same thing happens in all the things and do this. So we have to go beyond the virtues, go into the higher realm called Gunathita Sthiti. Have to go dimension. So first step is remove your negativities, find the positivity. That is development of the dimensions related to the what we talked about today, Daivi Sampad. Then it is not the end. You have to go beyond that. That is Gunathita Sthiti you have to go. So in the Gunathita Sthiti, Krishna and other great masters are there. They have to do these things I mentioned. For our mental health, we have practiced Kshama. But to set one example for society, to give them punishment, how Kshama is there? Yes, depending on these things. So you have to act beyond the gunas. Therefore, you have to rise to that level. As normal people, if you are not entitled for this thing, then you should not do that. Krishna had that state of the higher dimension. He was able to do that thing. So, for example, a judge has been given that permission to give punishment to this thing. It's not he should use that Kshama to everybody. Okay, give forgiveness to everybody. No. He has been entitled to give punishment to those things who have done wrong things. So, like that, Krishna also has been empowered because he had all the power to do these things. His words moksha, nirvana, and kaivalya, synonyms. Yes. Kindly mention if there is any difference. No, they are all same, synonyms. The moment when we become observers without judging ourselves or others, Is it when we become in silence? Yes, that's the first step. Observation, Sakshi Bhava is very important. And in the Sakshi Bhava, you start looking at it, you are moving toward that silence. But then that Sakshi Bhava, which is focused, you have to expand it from focusing to defocusing. That should come up. And these are the things that are very important. And I'm really glad that you had many more questions. If you have, we'll take up further in our next class, and we'll close today's session with Shanti Mantra. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Thank you.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaste. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Hari
Thank you.
Om.
But I also
Hari
had
Om.
some today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.